Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás, mi amo Alicia? Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we are playing Murder, She Wrote, Book 5, Final Curtain. Now, I am actually pretty excited about today. And I'm not saying that because we're going to be done with the game, I'm saying that because today is going to be an extra long video. I apologize if you're not in the mood for a super long video, but I really do want to get to a Halloween, in the Halloween spirit, in a spooky mood. So I want to play a really, well, not a really good game, but at least a spooky game. Relatively spooky. Let's say spoopy. Really. Anywho, if you're not familiar with Murder, She Wrote, oh shoot, I did not prep, hang on. No music for a second. I should have done this from the start, but I didn't. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. For all you Star Kid fans, you should understand that joke. Okay. So, for all you people who are not familiar with Murder, She Wrote, Legacy Interactive and Focus Multimedia made a game that's based off a TV show of the same name. Murder, She Wrote actually lasted 12 seasons. You can find the first 4 on Amazon. The rest, I am not so certain. The game was released in November 12th, 2009, so the game quality is actually not that bad considering it's a hidden objects. And I'm saying it's a pretty old game as the second reason why I'm saying it's an old game is because this here will take you to a broken link. It doesn't work, but there is still a working link for Legacy Interactive. It is in the description box below. You can check it out. I will be crediting both companies that made the game and published it as well. Anywho, Murder, She Wrote is basically about an author. In my opinion, a murder mystery author, considering most of the episodes, most of the show, and basically the game are about murder. The author is Jessica Fletcher, maiden name MacGill. She is a widow and retired English teacher and an amateur detective to boot. Despite her fame and fortune, Jessica remains a resident of Cabot Cove, a small coastal community in Maine, and maintains her links with all of her old friends, never letting success go to her head. Which is awesome. Not a lot of celebrities do that. Making sure that they keep intact their humanity. It's a sad time when that doesn't happen. Anywho, like I said, this game is based off the TV show, which eventually turned into a book series as well. I actually have a few of those books, and what I really like is that the game Legacy Interactive actually found actors who could do the voice likeness of the people from the show. So, Jessica Fletcher in the show, she was played by Angela Lansbury. In the game, we have Phoebe Moyer. And in the show, Sheriff Mort Metzger is played by Ron Masick. And in our game, Roger L. Jackson does the voice likeness of him. And in the show, there is a Dr. Seth Hazlitt, who is played by William Wyndham. But in the game, he is voiced by Andrew Chaikin and or Gavin Hammond. I think they might have alternated. If not, it's probably one or the other. When I looked it up on the internet, it said Gavin Hammond, but on the game credits, it says Andrew Chaikin. I'm not entirely certain about that. And there is a fourth main character, and that is Sheriff Ashman. He is not in the TV show, but he is in the game, and I actually really like this edition just because it gives it a little bit more uniqueness, and actually shows just how a bit of a flair to the stories and adds more character, more depth to it as well. At least in my opinion, just from reviewing it and just from my memories of the old show. I'm stuttering here. Give me a second. It's been a while since I've recorded, so I'm just kind of flustered here. Not to mention, I have a speech that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Oi, okay. Well, 3 times this week. It is drive me nuts. It's basically the same speech, actually. Something that I've been doing for these past year, I should say. I'm not going to go into it. It's a bit personal. Anyway, this is the last book of the game, and I'm actually really excited because there's actually a lot of the game left, considering we are on, what is it, chapter 8? Yeah, chapter 8 of the book. And because I did notice that there is roughly 16 to 17 chapters per book of the game, and I actually want to go into just a little bit of detail about the options here, just because there's a little bit of I guess hitch. It's not technically a flaw, but it is something that I do want to note, is that the voice acting volume is connected to the music. That doesn't always happen with all of the video games, but in this case it does. There's also a relaxed and timed mode. I will explain more of that once we get into the next part of the menu. And of course there's a custom cursor. I'm going to leave that on because if I leave it off, it doesn't really blend that well into the game. And of course the game is so freaking pretty. Also, I always forget to mention this, the music you get to hear on the main menu is beautiful. It is actually the theme song of the show. I am actually impressed they got the copyright of that, considering how long that show went on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. There are 5 books, oh. Sorry about that. Jeez. Oh, just went into a coughing fit there. I've been talking for a long time. Sorry, I haven't really talked this much today, so it's a bit weird for me to talk that much in so little time and just end up choking on my saliva. Anyway, as you heard earlier, I said book 5. There are 5 total books, and all the books actually have a theme of death in their titles, which is really clever. And you'll notice at the bottom that there is timed and relaxed. I know I need to hurry up a little bit, even though I'm going to be finishing up the entire book here. So at the top here, you'll notice best time. Each book has that, and let me tell you, you are timed whether you choose timed or relaxed, no matter what. And if you have watched my other plays for the books, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you will see once we finish Final Curtain. And there is actually one thing, and I will probably explain it better once we start playing, just because I think we're actually in the middle of a hidden objects. I was like so caught up into the story in the previous video that I lost track of time and had to leave during the hidden objects. So anyway, I will explain more into this, especially the hidden objects part of it. But we are basically on the last book. We are actually in London, England, which is pretty cool. Jessica is actually teaming up with an inspector from Scotland Yard, which is pretty cool. And we are trying to solve a suicide. Well, what looks like a suicide. We're trying to figure out who killed her, basically, because it wasn't technically a suicide. Someone did kill her and make it look like a suicide, which is totally not good. not legal, or very bad, very criminal. Alright, let's go ahead and continue the game. Oh, right, one more thing that I should say before we get into the game. If anything in this video does not look familiar, please check the description box below. There's the previous video as well as the playlist. I recommend the playlist because it will have everything that I've done so far with Murder, She Wrote, Book 5, Final Curtain. Oi! Oh, and I forgot to mention that in Final Curtain, we actually got to meet Jessica's cousin, Emma MacGill. Oh boy. Okay, so here is a typewriter. Jessica is actually an old-fashioned author. The Murder, She Wrote was set in the late 80s, I believe, around the time where computers and the internet was coming in, and she refuses to use a computer unless it is absolutely necessary, unless her typewriter needs like repairing and stuff like that. So it is a bit odd, but for the game's sake, we are. Dang it! Did I choose timed? Dang it. Okay. But you do get to find letters throughout the hidden objects to fill this, to collect it for the typewriter. And that will fill up the words that are on your items list that you need to find. Ooh, mangoes. And for some reason I'm missing the I. I don't know where that is. I don't know where that is. Oh, it's right there. Alright. Tie. Not sure where the tie is, but I'm sure we will find it eventually. Auto real player. There we go. Trophy. There's the jigsaw puzzle. I believe in this hidden objects we found some print papers and we printed them through this printer and found out that there were some exposing a photo of the parliament member that we have been talking to during this case. Yeah, this mystery case is actually involving a parliament member. Folder, coffee mug. Why am I having trouble finding the trophy and the necktie? How is that not the trophy? There's the trophy. But where the frick is the necktie? Oh, excuse me if you heard that. Oh, geez, that really blended in.
My men will take Mr. Bajpai down to the yard for questioning. In the meantime, would you care to accompany me to Wellinghall? Mrs. Waltersford will want to know what happened to her private investigator.
True. That's right.
I'd be happy to.
We actually were able to find a Mr. Bajpai, Giles Bajpai. He is a detective. I'm actually going to go back and change this back to relaxed. I don't want to be untimed. Okay, I'm actually going to open up the notes real quick and let's get you all caught up. Jeez. I believe the previous video was chapter 5 through 9. Technically speaking. Chapter 5, Giles Bajpai's office. After some pressing, Giles admitted that he had indeed been following Jane at the behest of none other than Tina Watersford. I could hazard a guess as to why a parliament member's wife might want to have an actress followed, but there's only one way to find out for certain. Chapter 6, Wellinghall. At first, Tina claimed that Giles never turned up any evidence to confirm her suspicion that her husband was having an affair. Her story changed after I found a program for one of Jane's shows with her husband's office address and a designated time written on it. Apparently, Giles had delivered the program to Tina, but promised to get pictures of Jane and Nigel together as well. Jane was killed before that could happen. Yeah. Chapter 7, Nigel's office. Mr. Watersford stubbornly maintained there wasn't anything going on between him and Jane, but I located Jane's missing earring in his office. Until we can get him to disclose more, I'm going back to Jane's dressing room to look for any clues I may have missed. Chapter 8, Jane's dressing room. Emma was an immense help in analyzing an unsigned contract, between Jane and the Melton Theater. Apparently, James was trying to get Jane to agree to a salary well below what she deserved, and admitted they had been arguing over it. After establishing that the cleaning woman had cleaned Jane's dressing room at 9 p.m., we were able to narrow down her time of death to between 9 and 11 p.m. Since Giles Bajpai had been following her earlier in the day, I wonder if he has an alibi for that time period. Yoicks. Chapter 9, Giles' office. At first, Giles claimed he was at a pub between 9 and 11 p.m., but after we matched his footprints with the ones at the crime scene, he confessed that he was in Jane's dressing room. After all, he insisted that she was dead when he got there. After he was taken into custody, yelling, "This is bigger than any of us," I found a newspaper article about Nigel Watersford from several years ago, a photograph of Nigel and Jane together, and another photo of Jane carrying an attaché case. Several years ago. Interesting.
Please do come in. Is there any news on the murder?
The private investigator you hired has been arrested on suspicion of the murder of Miss Drury.
He has?
He mentioned something concerning your husband's affair. He said that it was bigger than any of us.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what he meant by that?
None at all.
Mr. Badgepie took a picture of Jane alone on the street, carrying an attaché case. Does it look familiar to you at all?
It resembles one my husband has, but I can't say for sure. He has so many, you see.
True.
You're welcome to look around and see if you can find it here.
Something tells me we'll find more than an attaché case. And look, there are letters we need to find, not just all the briefcases. Oy. Is that all of them? No, we're missing only you. I suppose that's fine. Give me a second. I want to lower my mic real quick. I have a feeling I'm talking a little bit too loud. Okay. Is that better, everyone? I guess it'll do. Alright, we are finding all the briefcases. Boink, boink, boink. La 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 la. Ay, 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 ay. I am Jose Jalapeno.
The briefcase in the photograph isn't here. Perhaps Jane took it from Mr. Waterford's office. I'm beginning to wonder if there was something in it that could have gotten Jane killed.
The toy.
If it belonged to Mr. Watersford, he would be the one to ask about its contents.
Alright. Yoink. Yoink.
Mr. Watersford, I think it's time for you to come clean about your relationship with Miss Drury, and about a certain attaché case of yours that may have gone missing.
All right.
Dun dun dun.
I'd been carrying on an affair with Jane Drury since meeting her backstage. I fell head over heels for her.
Ooh.
Did you see her on the day she was murdered?
Yes, she was here. And so was the attaché case. It contained some sensitive papers. After she left, I saw that the case was gone. I ran out to try and catch her, but she was already lost in the crowd.
Interesting.
But how would Jane have known that there was anything in the attaché case worth stealing?
Attaché case.
I'm ashamed to say I told her what was in it. I was trying to impress her, telling her about the important things that were entrusted to my keeping.
Oh, freaking kidding me?
For God's
Idiot.
sake, man, why didn't you raise an alarm? Or at least contact Scotland Yard once you knew they were missing?
Because
I was
didn't want to
trying
get
to avoid a scandal,
press.
and I was hoping Jane had a good explanation.
May I ask what sort of sensitive papers were in the case?
Things that would probably get him arrested.
A draft of a top-secret defense proposal. If that should become public, it would be a major embarrassment at best. A breach of national security at worst.
True.
I see.
With Jane murdered and the attaché case missing, the story will be all over the press in no time.
Now,
I think
Mr.
your bottom
Watersford,
line
pull
is-
yourself together. Let's get you straightened up.
Dude, I think your bottom line really doesn't matter here right now. We're trying to figure out a murder here. So, a person that you ended up falling in love with. You need to help us figure this out so that in the end, you will be the hero. This is annoying as heck. This is why I'm not a big fan of politics and politicians in general. I avoid it altogether. No matter how nice you are, all politicians are freaking corrupt. It is annoying as heck on how bad it can be in the political world. And no matter how nice you are going to get corrupted. No matter how hard you try. Oh, freaking kidding me. Oh, freaking heck, I just clicked on the extra hint. Okay, there's one tie, and there's the other.
If Jane went straight back to the Milton after she left Mr. Waterford's office, perhaps the attaché case is somewhere at the theater.
Possibly.
But we found no sign of it in her dressing room.
Maybe it wound up somewhere else there. Her ex-husband's office, perhaps?
Oh, right. I remember now. What chapter are we on? 11? Okay.
Mr. Winslow, did you ever see your ex-wife carrying the attaché case seen here in this photo?
No.
Liar.
Very well. This is a photo of Miss Drury with Mr. Nigel Watersford. Had you ever seen the two of them together?
I had no idea she even knew him.
You had no
Liar.
clue at all that she might be having an affair with him?
No. Well, she had seemed more secretive than usual recently. Maybe this is why.
If you don't mind, we'll have a look around for that attaché case.
And it looks like we don't get a rebuttal from him saying no. Jeez. Okay. Wine bottle. Feed the fish. Where is the fish? I'm not seeing the fish. Is it here? What an acting career James has had. It looks like he got to travel the world quite extensively. What is Emma doing here with us? These two posters look nearly identical. Let's compare them. Oh no. Yo, Midsummer Night's Dream! As I ponder weekend Riri! There's a missing dude here. Y'all are missing here. This is gonna be so freaking difficult. Good thing we only need to find... Oh, year and location is different. Good thing we only need to find 10 and not 20, like it would be in Nancy Drew. Jeez. Yoink. Oh, come on! The peanut legs is totally different. Thank you. The arms are different. Flower is different. This is different, and we have one more left. Where can it be? Oh, where is the less difference, dear? Oh, where can it be? It's that hair little piece. Nice. You have quite a collection of memorabilia from your career as a Shakespearean actor, Mr. Winslow. Yes, I toured with a troupe back in the 90s. Ah. So where's the gosh darn fish? Oh, I see it now. Ooh, what's this? I know I shouldn't be writing, but I can't stop thinking about you. I must see you again soon. I'm afraid to call because I fear the phone records could give us away, and I wouldn't want anything to damage your reputation. Please come to my office at 11 a.m. on Saturday and come in through the back entrance. Until then, Nigel. Mr. Winslow, if this note has been sitting here in your office, how could you not have known about Jane and Nigel's affair? And I hadn't seen that before now. While we were married, our mail was delivered together, and sometimes it still gets mixed up. It must have ended up here purely by accident. Dude, no. I don't believe that for a second. I do not believe that for a second. Alright, teacup, balloon. Where would there be a balloon? Globe. Typewriter. Well, there's a typewriter right here. Shoes. Ball. There's a ticket. Walking cane. Hat. Give me that hat. Hole punch. There's that bell. Ring my bell. Alright, where's the freaking balloon? Why am I up here? Duh. A teacup. That's a mug, not a teacup. Wait, what? That looks more like a freaking handbell, not a freaking.
There's
okay,
no
whatever.
sign of the attaché case.
Inspector, I don't believe James was ignorant of Jane's relationship with
Thank
Mr.
you.
Watersford.
Why is that?
Because the note from Nigel to Jane was found in James' office, but the envelope it came in was found in Jane's dressing room.
Exactly.
If the envelope was in her dressing room, it couldn't have been misdelivered.
Right?
So James knew that Jane and Nigel had a rendezvous planned on the day of the murder.
Perhaps Mr. Bajpai can tell us more. He's out on bail, but I'll have my men track him down.
How did he get out on bail? What the F? Okay, so I actually do want to look at the notes. Watersford seemed surprised to hear that Giles Bajpai had been arrested. First she says she didn't recognize the attaché case. It resembled one. I'd like to ask him about it myself. Fallen in love with her. Apparently she visited him. Contained sensitive information. I found a letter. Mistake, since without the envelope he did not recognize the attaché case. While in his office I noticed some posters of his theatrical tour to Eastern Europe in the early 1990s. This seems to be important for some reason, and I can't remember why it's important.
We have a few more questions for you, Mr. Bajpai.
In the course of following Ms. Drury the day she was killed, you must have followed her to Nigel Waterford's office and seen her leave with an attaché case.
Yes. What's your point?
Did you also see something that would explain how she got away from Mr. Watersford's office so quickly?
Well, after I snapped the picture of Jane carrying the attaché case, I did see her get into a car that was waiting for her at the curb.
A taxi?
Interesting.
No, definitely a private car.
Did you manage to get a picture of it as well?
No such luck, but I think I can recall part of the license plate registration.
Ooh, license plate puzzle.
We'll take...
Oh shoot. You'll have to do a freeze frame or a slow play on that. I don't have any editing software right now, and honestly, I'm actually really enjoying just uploading the raw unedited footage right now. Which is why this is going to be a super long video. Okay. Billiard balls. Where am I putting this? Rack the billiard balls. Where do I rack them? Where am I supposed to rack them? Oh, duh. Ring my bell. Oh, this looks like where the billiard balls belong. Yuppie doodles. Let's try to find all 13. There's the 8 ball. Make sure you don't pocket that. You want to make sure you pocket that last thing. Yoink. And I guess that's the last one, right? Nope. I see it. Oh yeah. We'll get that puzzle last. Yeah, identify car owner. Bicycle wheel. Give me my umbrella. Ella. There you are. Corks. No, that was a pepper shaker. Telephone trophy. There's my walker. Walker. Whoopsies. Swoopsie. I really do hope at least one of you viewers recognizes that. Rolling pin. Right there. Bottle opener. A boot. What you talking a boot? Where is that boot? Oh, come on. No boot? I'm gonna give you the boot, eh? Give me the boot, hey! Hey! How? Where the frick? There's the phone. Dartboard. And where's the corkscrew? I am having such difficulty with this. Alright, let's just go ahead and do this. Let's see if we can narrow down the license plates to determine that car Jane left in. So this is an interesting puzzle. Since this is the last book, I can explain, well, the directions explain it better, but I can at least explain this here. So you can click solve later and get to the rest of the hidden objects. Or you can go ahead and solve it right away. You can wait for the skip button. I think it resets every time you go in or not. I think. Yeah, it does. Okay. So here's the thing. Like I said at the beginning, you are timed no matter what. Whether you choose timed relaxed mode for the book, for any of the books, because if you hit the skip button on any minigame within the hidden objects, 30 minutes will be added to that total time. Which is why at least one or two of the previous books in this particular profile have an extra 30 minutes. Of course, you can use a hint. For minigames similar to this, it will probably just give you like a slight little picture, just a tiny bit of a picture of just a random display. It's not going to give you the actual correct answer, except for a couple of cases. But other than that, it's just the hint is just going to tell you the same thing as the instructions, which is weird. Read the clue at the bottom of the and click on license plates to eliminate them. Read all 8 clues by selecting the different tabs. We're not going to do all of them in order just because it's going to be a little bit difficult. So no repeating letters. So it's not going to be this. Not going to be this. No repeating letters. No repeating letters. No repeating letters. Okay. Second number is the lowest. I mean, technically this is the lowest. Nope. 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 Okay. Only odd numbers. Gotcha. This has an even number. This has an even number. This... Whoops. This has an even number. Alright. Letters appear in alphabetical order. So clearly not this. L-M-N. Clearly not this. Clearly not this. Okay. Only vowel. One vowel only. Gotcha. So not this. Oh wait, that has a... One vowel only. Gotcha, we're good. No repeating numbers. Gotcha. So, I guess we are doing them in order. Some of the first two numbers is less than the last. Okay, so it's not this. Not this. No. Okay, so it's one of these two. Ah! Last letter is not a vowel. Whoops. There we go. Oh, snappy doodle. James Winslow. Who the heck is James Winslow? Do we know a James Winslow? Hang on a second. I need a drink of water. Alright. Now where the frick is this corkscrew? Okay, that's a freaking watch. There it is. Frickin' silver. Didn't think of that.
So the car Jane left in belongs to James Winslow.
Oh, that's right.
James must have known about the attaché case after all, since it was with Jane when he picked her up.
Interesting. So we need to talk to James again. He is frickin' lying.
There's no sign of Mr. Winslow.
Good. I think we may learn more here without his help.
Right? Alright, let's pick up the letters, as it will help us a little bit better. Where the frick is the A? There it is. Wristwatch. Oh, that's an actual clock. Trophy. There it is. Trophy, the ship. British flags. Teacup. Trench coat. And coffee mug. Crescent moon. Oh, right there. Audio cassette, listen to message. Oh, let's do that last. Okay. Answering machine is missing its audio cassette. Yeah, I really want to do that last. Shoes, staple. Wait, why am I not seeing the shoes? Am I blind? Alright, I'm blind. There's a wristwatch. Stuffed fish. There's the shoes. There's the handbell and the pretzel. Then where the frick is the stapler? Alright, I might actually have to use a hint on it. Nope, there it is. Found it. Alright.
James, Yuri again. This is your last chance. If you want to discuss a deal, you need to meet me in Regent's Park with the merchandise by 10 o'clock tonight. No more stalling.
Interesting. We actually get to hear a voice. That was cool.
Still no sign of that attaché case.
Well, if the merchandise mentioned on that answering machine message is any indication, we won't find it here.
Right?
Apparently James neither has it nor knows where it is.
I disagree. I think James knows very well where it is. The answering machine message merely means he hasn't gone back to retrieve it yet.
Right?
But we're running out of time to find it before he does.
I concur.
But where could it be?
The only logical place is Giles Badgepie's office. Giles saw Jane with the attaché case, saw her get into a car driven by James with it, and he was in her dressing room later that evening. That must be when he took it.
Possibly.
Well, let's go have a look then.
Oh, Giles did say he went to Jane's room after she had died. He must have been looking for something to make sure that something didn't happen.
There's an awful lot of mail here. Mr. Badgepie hasn't been here for a while.
Being arrested tends to make people rethink their lives.
True.
The briefcase must be here. I'm certain of it.
Well, too late to back out and look at the journal. Alright. Yoinky doodles, yoinky doodles. We are looking for envelopes, basically sorting out his mail, which we shouldn't be. Yoink, yoinky doodles, yoink, yoink, yoinky doodles. Yoink, yoink, yoinky doodles. Still looking for 4 more. 3, 2. Where are the last 2? This desk drawer is locked shut. There's 1 and 2. Sort the mail. Select parts of identical pieces of mail that are not overlapped by others. Ooh, it's one of these. No, it's this one. Here we go. Now we can do this one. Here. Now we can do this one. This here. Here we go. No. This one. Yeah. Oops. Ooh, a key! Giles Badgepie. An address. I wonder what this key belongs to. No, no, no. I don't want to go on a key trail. Please don't put me on the Matthias route. Just one simple key, please. Thank you. As I thought, the same attaché case as in the photo Mr. Bashby took of Jane. Oh boy.
Now where could it be?
Hello, James.
Looking for this attaché case, Mr. Winslow?
Attaché.
I don't understand. How...
Because you and Jane were working together to steal top-secret information from Nigel Watersford.
I've never tried to do anything of the sort.
I'm
sure.
sorry, James. But the fact that Mr. Badgepie saw you pick Jane up in your car after she stole the case from Nigel makes it difficult to believe that you are innocent in all of this.
True.
Purely speculation. You have no evidence.
Yes, we do.
Actually, we do. We have your answering machine with a call on it that can be traced back to your buyer, Yuri.
Yuri.
Who is Yuri, James?
So Yuri.
A Russian spy. I became friendly with him during our tour of the former Soviet Republic, back in my Shakespearean days.
Ooh.
He offered to buy anything of value I could obtain.
You knew about Jane and Nigel's relationship, didn't you?
I did. And I knew
Knew
that Nigel had access to valuable information. I told Jane if she could get her hands on any sensitive material from his office, I'd split the proceeds with her.
Interesting.
What happened the day that she took the attaché case?
I picked her up in front of Nigel's office as arranged, but Jane insisted on keeping the case in her possession and accompanying me to my meeting with Yuri.
Oh, because she found
But
out
Jane
what it was.
regretted what she'd done, and when she spotted Emma and me at Covent Garden, she approached us for help. And when she spotted Giles watching her, it scared her off.
I knew she'd had second thoughts when she failed to meet me before our rendezvous with Yuri, so I went to a dressing room to look for her.
And found her dead?
Yes. I'm ashamed to admit I was actually more concerned about the attaché case. Before I could search for it, I heard someone coming, so I hid.
Interesting.
Did someone enter the room?
Oh.
Indeed, it was Giles Badgepie. After he got over his shock at seeing Jane dead, I watched as he found the attaché case and left with it.
A perfect crime of opportunity.
I was
So they
trying to
both
catch
didn't-
up to him when I ran into you at the theater.
Mr. Winslow, you're under arrest for breaking and entering, espionage charges, and very possibly murder.
No, he didn't commit the murder.
Emma, it's me, Jessica. Do you know if Jane ever changed her name to Winslow after she married James? I see. I'm going to need your help with something.
That's a very awkward position with her arm. Alright, so let's look at the notes. Oh geez, 15. James denied any knowledge of Jane's affair. Without the envelope, he did not recognize attaché case. Notice some posters. Yeah, we did talk. We've already read that. Told me he had followed Jane to Nigel's office. Saw her get into a car. Who was driving. We were able to use that information to figure out the car was registered to James. The answering machine. He told James to meet at Regent's Park at 10 p.m. with merchandise. Repeatedly trying to rendezvous with James, so maybe James doesn't know where the attaché case is now. I'm going to search Giles' office again. Since he visited Jane's dressing room after she likely returned there with the case. Just after I located the attaché, James broke into Giles' office, which is interesting. He and Jane developed schemes to sell stolen secrets to the Russian contact, sorry, not spy. Yuri offered Jane half the proceeds in lieu of a higher salary. I had an idea and called my cousin Emma for a favor. Alright, so let's find out what that favor is.
Oh, hello. It's Ms. MacGill, isn't it?
That's right, love, but you could call me Emma. May I have a word with you?
Of course.
My cousin just called to tell me that Jane's ex-husband, James Winslow, has been arrested. She said he was the one who put Jane up to stealing that attaché case from your husband, which has now been recovered.
So?
So, don't you see what a golden opportunity this is?
I'm afraid I don't.
I figure I can sell the story to the press. An actress seduces an influential member of Parliament and steals his secrets for her ex-husband. Story like that should be worth a tidy sum.
What does any of this have to do with me?
You're
Well,
the
because
wife.
if you added your side of the story, it could enhance its value. You can tell all of England exactly what your deceitful husband was up to, so his tarnished reputation doesn't rub off on you.
I just don't know. I've got a fresh pot of tea ready. May I offer you a cup?
That would be lovely. I'll just wait right here then, shall I?
Don't drink it, Emma. It might be spiked. Alright, is that all of them? No, we're missing the A. As usual. Frickin' heck. Hey, fitting, you know, considering my name. Oh, look, we're going to be looking for post-its. Funny. Alright. Freaking kidding me. Okay, tea set. Baby oil bottle? Really? Elephant statue! Where's that elephant? I sometimes mock that elephant because of Mr. Bow's Pie. I don't know why. Sticky note! Bread, capers, cheese, milk, tea, apples, risotto, salmon. Yeah, I said salmon. Lemon. I don't know why, but I like the word capers. Come on, Toto. Come on, capers. Daddy needs Totos. Alright, bad joke. Old joke. Must be a grocery list. This handwriting looks very familiar. Well, I would imagine. Alright. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, freaking heck, that was a hint. Scarf. Checkerboard. Moth. Where's the frickin' moth? Sheet music. Sheet music? Where would the sheet music go? Here, I suppose. Don't know why I'd be looking for sheet music, though. Dun, 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 dun. From the desk of Nigel and Justina Watersford. Huh. Oh dear. I bet I know what Jessica is thinking. And I'm afraid she may be right. I can barely read that. What does it say? Alright. Vent. Hammer. And necktie.
Ms. MacGill, I'm afraid I can't make such a big decision so hastily.
Good.
I understand. I'll give you the rest of the day to think about it.
Just
That's
one day?
all the time I can spare. I'll be at the Milton Theatre at 10 o'clock tonight, waiting for your answer.
Interesting.
Good evening, Mrs. Watersford. Thank you for coming.
Ms. MacGill asked me to meet her here.
Actually, I was the one who wanted to talk to you. Emma merely arranged it so that you'd come.
Talk to
Correct.
me. About what?
About why you murdered Jane Drury?
Oh,
You
the earring!
must be joking.
I'm not. The key was the handkerchief we found next to Jane's body. At first, I
And the
assumed it was
handkerchief,
Jane's.
too. Yeah.
After all, her most recent ex-husband's name is Winslow. But Emma confirmed for me that Jane never took James Winslow's last name and never had the
Right.
initials J.W.
So?
So once I realized that your name, Tina, was short for Justina, it made sense who had dropped the handkerchief in Jane's dressing room.
Ah.
And what other reason would you, Justina Watersford, have to be there except to confront the woman who was having an affair with your husband?
Quite right.
This is absurd. I'm not the only person with the initials JW. It's obvious that James Winslow was the one who killed Jane. He was jealous of her affair with my husband.
I'm not so sure of that, Mrs. Watersford. I have one last thing to check.
Ha. I was worried that would have been the last thing. Let's look at the notes. Yeah, chapter 15. Emma paid a visit to Mrs. Watersford and informed her that she was going to break the whole story of Jane and Nigel's affair to the press. She invited Tina to tell her side of the things as well, which would both increase the value of the news and give Tina a chance to defend herself in the scandal. Emma asked Tina to meet her at the Milton Theater that night at 10 with her answer. Yoiky doodles. Alright, I think this might be our last hidden objects. Where, again, we're missing the A. How fitting, because of my name. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it this time. My eyes, just, there it is. Handwriting scraps. Okay, so we're just looking for handwriting scraps. Gotcha. Yoinky, yoink, yoink, yoink. I hear the creak. Please go away. Don't spook me. Don't spook me, please. Yoink. Where's the last piece? That's the hint. Let's use it. Oh, it's over there. Oh, it's this frickin' mini game. Let's compare the supposed suicide letter to samples of Miss Watersford's handwriting. Oh, gotcha. Thirst for a Dead Dachshund by J.B. Fletcher. Yep. I think that's the same book that we used in the previous games, in the previous books. Alright. We are basically looking for the identical pair of letters on paper, and we have to do it 5 times. Oi. It is a bit difficult. More difficult, well, not difficult, but more challenging than the differences thing in Nancy Drew. Not V. I don't think it's J. Don't think it's the N. No. No. What? I don't get it. I'm confused. I'm not seeing an. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's in the last row. J. Ew, will. It's not W. It's not P. Oh, it's the U. Do 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 do. Where can I find you? Not the K. Bum, bum. Not the J or the Z. E. Actually, no, it is C. Could it be the U again? No. The R. No, 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 no. It's the T, 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 T. Handwriting is a perfect match. This confirms that you, Mrs. Watersford, were the one who wrote the suicide letter, not Jane, and implicates you as her killer. Heck, frickin' you. Take over for me, please.
All right. It's true. I was here because Giles told me that Nigel was having a relationship with Jane, and I wanted to put a stop to it. We argued, and then Jane said something that sent me right over the edge.
What did she say?
That Nigel said he couldn't wait to escape from our marriage. It confirmed what I had suspected for some time. Having this other woman throw it in my face made me lose all control, and I strangled her.
And when you realized she was dead, you tried to make the scene look like a suicide. You didn't know that first James and then Giles would come into the dressing room afterwards and find her dead.
I certainly didn't know they'd find her and then act like such fools to make themselves look guilty. And when each were arrested, well, neither would have been much missed.
That doesn't justify letting them take the blame for a murder you committed.
True.
Maybe not, but with everything I have at stake, I'm not about to let that get in the way. And I'm not about to let you expose me as a murderer either.
That's enough, Mrs. Watersford.
Thank you.
Did you hear it all? Every last word.
Mrs. Watersford, you're under arrest for the murder of Jane Drury. Let's go.
Poor Jane. If only she'd been able to sit down and talk to us that day in Covent Garden.
Right.
I know. Would things have turned out differently if she hadn't been scared off by the sight of Giles' badge pie? We'll never know for sure.
Probably.
I'm glad you were able to stay for Jane's memorial service. So am I. It was lovely. Jane will certainly be missed.
Most
but
likely.
not forgotten. I've spoken with several of my friends in the West End. We're starting a scholarship fund in Jane's memory
Oh, yeah.
to help aspiring young actors go to drama school. What a wonderful idea. In a way, she's helping the next generation of actors and actresses follow in her footsteps. Well, you know what they say. The show must go on.
Ah, you had to say that. Puzzle skipped 0. Completion time 35, and we didn't skip any dialogue either. Well, there might have been once or twice, but typewriter keys found 94 of 96. Nice. There are only twice that I have trouble finding the letters. I think it was like E and the U. E and the U. Interesting. Typewriter ribbons found. 3 by accident. Actually, no, 1 was on purpose. The other 2 were on accident. No, wait, all 3 of them were accident. All 3 of them were in this session. Oh, frustrating. Okay. Well, these are actually a bit of kind of achievements. They're not really something that you don't have to go for, but you can if you want. For instance, the typewriter keys, you don't necessarily have to find all of them, but it is helpful if you want to understand all the words in your items list that you need to find. The typewriter ribbons, you don't necessarily have to find all of them. Again, those are just to help you find other things in the hidden objects area in case you're stuck. Hints used, this just tells you how many hints you've used in the hidden objects. It doesn't mean you've actually used the ribbons. If you've used hints at all, that is. You don't have to use hints. You can try to do a hard mode and avoid hints at all costs if you want. I think I'm going to try that myself on my free time, not on the actual channel. As much as I enjoy this game, I'm not willing to record it again. Except for that one part in book 4. Seriously, I want to know if any of you want me to re-record that one bit. I do apologize of skipping that one important bit for the the climax. I'm still frustrated with myself about that. Anyway, puzzle skips. You don't necessarily have to skip puzzles. You can if you want to try to get all 8. Again, it's your choice. I'm not going to force you. You can if you want. You don't have to. But I believe that is it for all of them. Best time. I think the best time I've had for all of them is the Deadly Catch. And I think it's because I know that book so freaking well. Of course, I did skip all of the dialogue. Of course, I think the longest one... was this one. And I do know that in Murder in the Maples and A Garden to Die For, there were 2 puzzles that one puzzle that I skipped in each, adding 30 minutes to it. Because I was like, F this, I'm out of here. Oh, man. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright. I am super excited, everyone. I am so glad to be done with games so that I can get to the next Sunday game. I hope you all enjoy what the next game is, because seriously, it's actually a game that you're all familiar with. It's actually something I've already played on my channel, but it is a mobile version. I actually forgot that the company that made the games did a couple of mobile versions of their games, and there was going to be a 3rd one, but they shelved it, I believe, which is unfortunate. I was really looking forward to it. Oh wait, no, that was for the other thing. Anyway, I am just dragging this longer than I should, just because of the time length and all. But I really enjoyed this game. I really do. Please comment down below if you enjoyed it as well. Just because, for not just for content's sake, but I mean just for like how the game is done, how well it was made, the stories and all that jazz. I really do enjoy this game, despite the audio thing, with the voice acting tied with the music volume. Of course, I did notice, you know, that the music is not actually playing in the background of the voice acting that's in the game, which is nice. It doesn't really actually mess anything up. It just annoys me to heck that it's just connected to the music. Because really, if you have the music on blaring, if you have the music all the way up, the voice acting hurts your ears because it is so freaking loud. Oh my gosh. So if you can barely hear the music, but you could actually hear the voice acting, you'll know what I'm talking about. My gosh. Alright, so I think that's gonna be it for now. Until next week, my beautiful kittens and viewers, I think I'm just going to go ahead and outright say it. The game we're going to be seeing next week, next Sunday, is Ghosts of Thornton Hall mobile version. So exciting. And I will tell you how I'm going to be recording it when the day comes. So I will see you all then. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope I helped you out at least a little bit in this video. If not, I'm not doing my job. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well, as much as I did. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. And I hope you all... Freaking heck. I don't know why I mess this up every time. And if you're just now tuning into this channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button, make it that beautiful gray, as well as that bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do, which are on Wednesdays 6 p.m. Central and Sundays 4:30 p.m. Central. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Thrasky Rabbit, saying goodbye. Stay awesome and stay on YouTube! Woof. I'm glad I did this.